make a quick video on the Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures, and this includes Torah, Nevi'im, and Kethuvim. So I wanted to share this with you to kind of not only to help you understand more about this this actual Old Testament Bible done by the Jewish Publication Society, but just to show you that how to learn again. Like, that is pretty much why I do all this reading, because I want to help y'all learn. So I wanted to share this with you, and I don't know what all these terms mean all the times. So what I do is I explain to y'all how to reference things in order to where you can find what you're looking for when you need it. So in this particular case, I'm going to read this, and there's some Jewish terms, some Hebrew terms that I don't really know all about. A couple of them are self-explanatory, but some of them are a little bit harder. So I'll go ahead and read this to you, and then we'll learn together, and I'll do more where we'll find out what these actual terms mean, just so you can understand how the learning process works and how the learning to reference actually helps. So it says right here, it says, this translation of Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures, produced by the Jewish Publication Society, was made directly from the traditional Hebrew text into the idiom of modern English. It represents the collaboration of academic scholars with rabbis from the three largest branches of organized Jewish religious life in America. Begun in 1955, the ongoing translation was published in three main stages: the Torah in 1962, the prophets, Nevi'im, so Nevi'im means the prophets, in 1978, and the writings, Kethuvim, in 1982. These three volumes with revisions are now brought together in a complete English Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Kethuvim, the latest link in the chain of Jewish Bible translations. So then I wanted to flip over here and read a bit more to you so you can have a few more of those difficult words like that you might not be used to. It says, the present English rendering of Kethuvim, like Torah and Nevi'im, is based on the traditional Hebrew text. Its consonants, vowels, and syntactical divisions, although the traditional accentuation occasionally has been replaced by an alternative construction. Following the approach of the original committee, the entire gamut of biblical interpretation, ancient and modern, Jewish and non-Jewish, has been consulted, and whenever possible, the results of modern study of the languages and cultures of the ancient Near East have been brought to bear on the biblical text. In choosing between alternatives, however, just as antiquity was not in itself a disqualification, so modernity was not in itself a recommendation. Divergences of the present translation from recent renderings reflect the committee's judgment that certain innovations, though interesting, are too speculative for adoption in the present state of knowledge. The as yet imperfect understanding of the language of the Bible, or what appears to be some disorder in the Hebrew text, makes sure translation of many passages impossible. This uncertainty in Kethuvim is indicated in a note, and where the Hebrew text permits, alternative renderings have been offered. However, emendations of the text of Kethuvim, except for the 5 megaloth, were not proposed, and notes were kept to a minimum. Some passages in Kethuvim are identical or very similar to passages in Torah and Nevi'im. The renderings of these passages in Kethuvim generally follows the wording in the earlier books. On occasion, however, owing to various considerations, divergences in style and translation will be found. For example, in the presentation of the poetry of the Psalms, it was deemed fitting, because of their liturgical use, to indicate the thought units through appropriate indentation. The text of Kethuvim frequently presented the translators with extraordinary difficulties, for it is hardly possible to convey in English the fullness of the Hebrew, with its ambiguities, its overtones, and the richness that it carries from centuries of use. Still, it was their goal to transmit something of the directness, the simplicity, and the uniquely Israelite expressions of piety that are essential to the sublimity of the Hebrew Bible. The committee's translation of the Psalms appeared in 1973, of the book of Job in 1980. The two were incorporated with revisions into the complete translations of the writings, Kethuvim, which appeared in 1982. For this one-volume edition of Tanakh, the translation of the Torah, first published 20 years earlier, has undergone more revisions than the more recent publications of the prophets and the writings. A number of the changes had already been projected in Notes on the New Translation of the Torah, edited by Harry M. Orlinsky and published by the Society in 1969. Subsequent research on the text has led to further revisions in the translations of Torah and some revisions in Nevi'im as well. So, I just wanted to share that with you, just so you can kind of see not only some of the newer words you might not understand, since it's in an ancient language, like Kethuvim, Torah, Nevi'im, and Megaloth, and words like that. I'll be adding this to some of the stuff I've read from Alfred Edersheim as well, so you can kind of start to get the feel of some of these words that are a bit foreign. And even when you read them, sometimes if you don't use them often, you'll forget what they mean. So the key is to learn how to reference the material for yourself, so you'll know where it's at then whenever you need it. And the way you do that will be by tabs, of course. Like, put some tabs in your book. I mean, tabs really help. So, all right, that's what I wanted to share for now. And that I just read that directly from the preface of this book. So, I hope that you enjoyed that. So, all right, thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.